Welcome, viewers. In this session, I'm looking at 30 key labor issues in Malawi. So these are issues that tend to affect the employees who are employed in Malawi, the employers who have companies in Malawi and have employed employees, or employees who are coming from outside and they want to work in Malawi, or who are already employed in Malawi, or employers who have employed people in Malawi, or they will be employing employees in Malawi. So these are some of the basic things that they should be able to adhere to. So it's always important for each and every organization, when it wants to open or to operate in Malawi, to understand some of these key labor issues, which are very, very important. And the Change Consult Group can be able to guide such kind of organizations to say what are the key labor issues that you should be able to mind whenever you are to operate in Malawi. So these issues can be in your different policies, could be in your terms and conditions of service, but whatever policies you have developed, you should make sure that you are in line with the labor laws that are operating in Malawi. Because an adherence to the labor laws, you might be regarding that you are not doing whatever you're doing, you see, illegal or unacceptable, and you might be able to be sued by the employees in one way or another. So these are some of the key things that we should be able to be mindful whenever you are to open in Malawi or to employ people in Malawi, or you have to be employed in Malawi. First issue is to look at the minimum wage. Malawi has got a minimum wage, so it's providing for 39,000 as a minimum wage for domestic workers. The law provides for, this is from 2021, the law provides for the Minister of Labor tend to gazette such kind of a communication on or the minimum wage. And it is 38,000. These are employees who are working 26 days a week. Could be housemaids, house helpers, cooks, and other things. But mostly, these are the people who have no basic knowledge in certain professions, like they're not trained in a special way. But when they are trained, you can be able to pay over and above the 38. And also at the same time, the 38 is the minimum, but you're not obliged to pay within the minimum. You're going to pay above the minimum. And in terms of per day, this is 1,461 kwacha 54 tambala. And also there are also category of minimum wage for truck drivers. For truck drivers who are international truck drivers and driving vehicles which are above 30 tons, they are supposed to get 140,000 kwacha. And for those who are driving within the country, they are supposed to get 60,000 kwacha. And also there's another category of employees who are supposed to get 100,000 kwacha if they are truck drivers and they are driving within Malawi. This is what is very, very important for us to appreciate. Apart from that, there is also another category of employees who are supposed to be paid 50,000 kwacha per month if they are working for 26 days a month. So they have given a cushion for domestic workers, then truck drivers. Apart from that, the rest of the employees, they are supposed to be paid a minimum of 50,000 kwacha per month. So a minimum of 50,000, that's about 1,923 kwacha 0.08 tambala per day. So for the trucks, 140,000 kwacha for international trucks 30 tons, and for those driving local which are above 30 tons, they should be getting 100,000, and those who are driving less than 30 tons, they should be getting 60,000 kwacha. Another issue which is also very, very important, if the employees have gone on a strike, they are not supposed to be paid beyond 3 days. So the first 3 days of the strike, they can be paid, but the rest of the days after the 3 days, they're not supposed to be paid the wages. This is as per amendment of the Labor Relations Act of 2021. So this is one of the things we should be able to appreciate. It's a law That's nothing that we can argue. And also, we should be mindful of the fact that all suspensions, if you are to suspend an employee for a disciplinary issue, they should be suspended with pay. But suspension we after disciplinary hearing can be with pay or without pay. The reason being, the suspension of after suspension can be as punishment. So, but before you are trying to investigate, so this one should be with pay. And all employees, all foreign nationals, number 4, all foreign nationals who are supposed to work in Malawi are supposed to have employment permits. And also we should be mindful of the fact that provision of funeral expenses by an employer to an employee is not provided by law or even to his dependents. This is just being done as per out of goodwill by employers. So this is one of the most important things that we should be able to appreciate as employers, to say these things are done out of goodwill. That's what is very, very important for us to appreciate. Very, very important for us to appreciate. And also at the same time, what we should be able to appreciate is that pension contribution for an employer, the employer is supposed to contribute a minimum of 10% towards pension. And for the employee can contribute a minimum of 5%. But what it means, if we are talking about the minimum, it means the employer can pay more than 10%. Even the employee can contribute more than 10%. And at the same time, each and every employee who is on pension should be on life assurance of a minimum of 1 times annual salary. So it means if he has passed on, an employer has passed on, he is entitled to 1 annual salary upon his death. So the dependents will be able to get, on top of whatever benefits are accrued, he will be able to be paid 1 times annual salary. And issue number 7, pension when one has resigned from employment can be gotten within 3 months. Pension after one has resigned can be obtained, or maybe has been terminated, or maybe has died, can be accessed after 3 months. Commutation of pension has now been put at 50%. It means whenever you have retired and you are getting your pension, you'll be getting 50% of the pension funds, and the other 50% will be invested as annuities. This is very, very, very important. This is number 8. And the retirement age in Malawi is 70 years as per Pension Act. And one is allowed to retire from the age of 50 to 70 years. And we need to know that employers can choose to say the retirement age to be 50, 55, 60, 65, or 70. Anything above 70, is to the advantage of the employee. There's no harm. But it means after 70, maybe the employee might not be on pension, because the pension allows employees to be on pension not beyond 70 years. Gratuity. Gratuity is applicable to employees whose set contracts of employment provides for gratuity. So we don't know about gratuity in Malawi. It's just contractual gratuity. The law doesn't provide for gratuity except for domestic workers. The other thing that also should be able to appreciate, this is point number 12, or key issue number 12, is that if an employee feels insecure, unsafe at a workplace, can stay away from such kind of a workplace. So the workplace is not adhering to the occupational safety and health. Is at risk of contracting diseases, or maybe can fall into an accident and all that, then the employee has a right to stay away from such kind of a workplace. So all workplaces should be in line with the Occupational Safety, Health and Welfare Act. Deductions of loans. Whenever employees are applying for loans, the loans should not exceed 50% of one's basic salary when deductions are being made from the employees. This is very, very important for us to appreciate. And the law also prohibits recruitment of employees who are below the age of 14, or children who are below, and that will be regarded as child labor. That's according to the Employment Act. And in Malawi, the law provides for 3 types of contract. Contract for specific task, contract for specified period, and contract for unspecified period. This is important, very important. So like temporary employments, contracts, we don't have in Malawi. What we have are 3 types of contract. Contract for specific task. They are building a house. Once the house has finished, it means the contract has come to an end. That's contract for a specific task. You have asked someone to clear some bush. It means after that clearing of the bush, it means that contract will come to an end. That's contract for a specific task. Contract for specified period. You indicate the period to say you have employed you for 2 months, for 3 months, for 6 months, for 2 years, for 4 years, for 5 years. So that one is a contract for specified period. And the contract for unspecified period is this one whereby one works up to retirement or up to death. Then you can say that's a contract for unspecified period. Probation. In Malawi, one can be on a probation for 1 month, 2 months, but not beyond 12 months. Can be on 1 month probation, 2 months probation, 3 months probation, 4 months probation, 6 months probation, but shouldn't be beyond 12 months. Probation, there's no law that says probation should be for 6 months. The Employment Act talks about not being on probation for more than 6 months. That's what is very, very important for us to appreciate. Whenever you are, this point number 17, whenever you are having a disciplinary process, make sure that if you have taken someone to police, you have reported the issue to police, you shouldn't wait for the police case to finish or the court case to finish. Proceed to do your own disciplinary process. The law allows that, to say you can do your administrative disciplinary process while you have reported the issue to police or the courts. Then these issues are separate. The minimum, this is number 18, the minimum period of notice of termination of employment, if an employee is being paid on a monthly basis, is 2 weeks. If this employee is working on a fortnight, but normally it has to be not less than 1 month if the person is working on a monthly basis. So if you have agreed anything above the 1 month, 2 months, 3 months as a notice, that's okay, because the law provides the minimum. 19. The law doesn't allow employees to work more than 8 hours, except guards. But whenever someone has worked beyond the 8 hours, that should be regarded as overtime. And overtime is calculated differently in terms of depending on the nature of the overtime. Could be holiday overtime, ordinary overtime, or holiday overtime. day off overtime, holiday overtime, or ordinary overtime. Ordinary overtime is 1.5 times the number of hours worked. The double, the holiday or the day off overtime, this one, the public holiday and the day off overtime is calculated as double the number of hours worked. The law also discourages discrimination of any employee in terms of whether recruitment, promotion, training, amongst other things, even dismissal, amongst other things, or any other opportunity, field opportunities, or whatever opportunity, because of one's HIV status, gender, among other things. So you don't have to discriminate someone because of his or her gender or because of his HIV status. Very, very important. And all employees have got the right to be compensated when they are injured or they have died in the course of their work. So they should be compensated. Very, very important. This is in line with the Labor Relations Act. Issue number 22. Every employee has the right to join a trade union of his choice. No mention about that. The minimum number of annual days that one has to work with an employer is 15 days in a week, in a year. For one who is working 5 days a week. But for someone who is working 6 days a week is entitled to 18 working days. These are the minimums, but you can earn more, like 20, 36, 24, 30, 21, but the minimum is 18 for someone who is working 6 days a week and 15 for someone who is working 5 days a week. Female employees are entitled by law to go for maternity leave of 2 months, and the law provides for the need for flexible working hours for people who are on maternity leave. And also the law recognizes for paternity leave of 2 weeks for male employees. Every 3 years. Paternity leave and maternity leave, you are entitled once every 3 years. Issue number 25. Leave grant. Leave grant is not by law. Leave grant is not by law. And at the same time, someone cannot be asked to use his leave days for the sake of maternity leave or whilst he is sick. Employees should be entitled for sick leave for maternity leave as provided. So the law recognizes different aspects of leave: the maternity leave, the annual leave, and the sick leave. Compassionate leave. Compassionate leave is not covered by law. Where you attend to a sick relation, where you are attending a death of, the funeral ceremony of a relation, those are not covered under the law in Malawi, but is given as compassionate leave. Some employers could give them as in the terms and conditions of service. They can give 5 days a year, or sometimes you might wish to attend to a sick relation, then you are given 5 days. Very, very important. Severance pay. Severance pay is only applicable to issues pertaining to redundancy and retrenchment. Severance pay is not applicable under any other circumstance, unless maybe you are provided by in the law, you wish you have a severance pay, but it's provided by in the circumstance of retrenchment or redundancy. Processes such as recruitment, training, promotion, transfer, performance management, succession planning. These are processes which are not covered in the law. Orientation of staff members, these are not processes which are not covered in the law. So organizations should be based on their policies. So it's always important to develop relevant policies for your organization with regard to the recruitment, training, promotion, transfers, performance management, and change of group can help you to develop such kind of policies. Whenever an employee is aggrieved, has got the right to complain, and this is provided by in the law. Can even complain to the employer, but if the employer is not supportive of the complaint, then can complain to the nearest district labor office. Even if he is not satisfied with the advice from the labor office or the support from the labor office, the employee can complain at the Industrial Relations Court. If he is not satisfied, he can complain at the High Court or can sue the employer at the High Court. Even the employer can also sue the employee at the Industrial Relations Court, at the High Court, up to Supreme Court. The last 30th key issue is that the labor laws, they tend to guard discrimination out of one's race, color, sex, language, religion, political, or any other opinion, nationality, even ethnic, language, property, material, in respect to issues of recruitment, training, promotion, the terms and conditions of service of the employer. So these are the key 30 issues that have to be considered whenever you are to be employed, or when you are working in Malawi, or when you want to employ employees in Malawi, that you should be able to adhere to. Very, very important. Because if you mismanage this item, these things, you might find that you might not be in conformity with the law or HR best practices. Thank you for watching. I hope you were able to follow my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more information about issues pertaining to HRM, management, retail business, procurement, stores, general issues, education. We share it. Thank you so much.